Let's do one of these reintroductions. My name is Brian, and I like Bitcoin. I've been into Bitcoin since 2015. I used to, when people are like, "Oh, how'd you get into it?" Like, I have this, the normal story arc that I tell is I used to work on political campaigns. So, graduated college, worked at a credit union, found my way into working on political campaigns, did that freelance for a bunch of years, and then as I became like jaded on working on political campaigns, my knowledge of Bitcoin, like I started off just as the regular guy buying $50 on Coinbase, watching it double, pulling out the $50. Like it was just a thing to do, just an investment. But then as my understanding through watching Bitcoin videos on YouTube, used to watch a guy called Tone Vace back in the day. You come for the price videos, come to YouTube for the price videos, and then you stay for the philosophy. You stay for the like, oh, what is this all about? And the rabbit hole, the Bitcoin rabbit hole, right? So as I was going down that through Bitcoin YouTube, I was becoming disenfranchised with politics. I was becoming, my understanding of Bitcoin, the like social and philosophical movement that it is, was increasing, right? Because you learn, like, and I'm convinced of this now, like it's a big part of the staying power of Bitcoin, that a lot of the root causes of just like negative things in society are from the money not working. Like, money is a tool that we all use to communicate value to each other and solve the coincidence of needs so that we're not bartering back and forth, right? But when the money itself loses value, when the money itself inflates, when the money itself gets printed, more units of it are created. That's this week. Like this week, the Federal Open Market Committee is meeting in like Jackson Hole, Wyoming, right? For them to sit around a table and choose the price of dollars. It's weird to even think about that. Like, oh, dollars have a price. The price of dollars. A committee of humans, of people, is choosing that, right? That has downstream effects on everyone else in the world. Their choices, that group's choices, have downstream effects on people that just work their job, make an hourly wage, and look to buy things. But then, so they choose the price of dollars in the world. People that only hold dollars, like this is a common, if you watch YouTube personal finance for 7 minutes, you'll be like, hold assets instead of dollars. And then everyone will tell you what their favorite asset is. Then you can go watch the real estate videos. You can go watch the Bitcoin and crypto videos. You can go watch the gold and silver videos. You can go watch the stock picking videos, right? And then you choose whichever your niche of assets that you like to hold instead of dollars. It's all back to the same thesis that this group of people managing the money are devaluing the money. And that's not great. That's not super great. And so people get financially educated and hold assets instead of holding dollars, right? But assets don't work as money. Bitcoin is this revolutionary thing that works as both, as a hard asset, but also as money. Okay. So as I understood all of that, that filled the gap in my mind that I was trying to fill with politics, of like how to help the world, right? So that's what sent me down the Bitcoin rabbit hole. And there was a time at which where I just stopped. Like, I stopped working for the political action committee I was working for, started working for Bitcoin startups, and now I've worked for several Bitcoin startups. At the same time, my wife and I have like built a family together. We've built a family. We've bought multiple homes. I'm into rental properties as well. I'm not Bitcoin only. Like, my wife like works for a different crypto company as well. We're all in on the new future of like finance being not around this committee of people choosing the price of things. Like, we're for verifiable on-chain like finance, and Bitcoin being the backbone of that, okay? And all the forms that is going to come in, right? And so that's who I am. Originally, I'm also ranked, so on YouTube, I'm ranked for Sunrun Solar Review as of today. If you search Sunrun Solar Review, that was the first thing that actually took off for me. Like, previously, I really liked Twitter. I really liked the old Twitter. I feel, and that's not even a like political statement or like an ownership statement. That's just like the old days of Twitter was the most close to real world networking of any social media. Like, I met very like lifelong friends now through that website that I was able to relate with about topics that you talk about, right? And then they became my friends. I've never experienced that with any other kind of social media. And I can't experience that now with Twitter anymore either, with everything moving towards the like for you page and being algorithm driven. It just kind of, there's no way to, even on YouTube, there's no real way to able to like subscribe. There is the subscriber tab on YouTube, which I like the best, but even that, you're still like not shown every video from every person that you subscribe to. There's no real way to just only have that in your feed now across any sort of social channel. So what does that have to do with YouTube? When I was looking to break through on YouTube for the very first time, solar videos is what popped for me the first time, and I worked the muscle of even being able to like talk and package things correctly so that it could have any semblance of getting out there. And so now that transitioned into being able to just do kind of like normal talking head Bitcoin videos, which is nice and I'm very thankful for. I'm working on getting another solar quote right now as we speak to put solar on this house so I can show you more what it's like to mine Bitcoin via solar at home. And that's just it's just a cool hobby, and it's a cool, interesting thing that there's a whole rabbit trail of like how Bitcoin is connected to energy, which keeps it more grounded in reality. Again, besides fiat money just being this fluctuating thing that can be gained by the committee of people to do whatever outcomes they're trying to solve in the world. Bitcoin is grounded in its proof of work algorithm, like to be grounded in reality. And so cover that on the channel, cover using solar to do that at home. I do believe that a Bitcoin miner is going to be as ubiquitous as a washing machine, as a hot water heater in people's garage. I think that especially in areas that are sunny, I don't understand why every single house isn't a net energy producing house. Like I think every house should be a net energy producing house, but so far, and people throw back at that, oh, well, solar panels are so expensive, the ROI is so bad. Exactly. But Bitcoin mining pays higher than the net surplus rate that you receive back from the utility. And so things like the Tesla virtual power plant, things like offloading your own production into Bitcoin mining, I believe will monetize and incentivize homes to be net energy producers. And so just right there, that's just a small slice of an example of if every home turned into being a net energy producer, what's the downstream effect of that like on society? Bitcoin makes that possible. If every person that's just working a job and can't afford like a down payment is able to save money in better money than fiat dollars, what's the downstream effect of that on society? And so that's why I show up on this website to talk about Bitcoin, is because I do think it's better than fiat money. I do think it's better for the world, and better for the individual at the exact same time. And there's nothing else in the world that I've found that is as good for the individual and as good for society, that has like a very tangible, in this physical reality, changes it as Bitcoin. And so that's why I show up on this website and talk about it. Thanks so much for being here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see more on the next videos.